Good morning, guys. Well, let's go ahead. This is Earhead, by the way. Let's go ahead and start with talking about the wonderful topic of the debt. It says, according to the International Monetary Fund, global debt has grown to a staggering grand total of $152 trillion. Other estimates put that figure closer to $200 trillion. But for the purposes of this article, let's use the more conservative number. If you take $152 trillion and divide it by the 7 billion people on the face of the planet, you get roughly 21,714, which would be the share of that debt for every man, woman, and child in the world, if divided equally, but we know it's not equal. So bottom line, what are we going to do? You know, the only thing realistic to do is to simply wipe it off, start over, and start over with some common sense. You got to kick out the Federal Reserve. You got to kick out the International Monetary Fund, the international bankers. They've got to go bye-bye, to never be had, and we can't ever have them again. In fact, we need to take them and put them in jail. Okay, that's what we need to do. And if you don't want to do that, at least we need to nullify their importance to the world. Okay, it's just got to be done. So consider that. That's just, you know, that's the only real way to get rid of the debt. And they have put us purposefully in that debt. They have used blackmail and everything else to get people from our country, Russia, China, all over, every nation, to get themselves knee-deep in debt. And that's the only way out. Anyway, moving on. Caught on video. Environmental activists deface Trump's Palos Verdes golf course. You know, here's a group of environmental activists defacing one of Trump's premier golf courses, and they put up 6-foot-tall letters, carved a message into the green that said "No more tigers, no more woods." You know, I mean, they're just, these people are really pathetic. And you know, I would love to see that they're tied into Soros, but I'll guarantee you Soros has stayed away far enough that they can't. When spies are out of control, that would be like now. But they say, I have seen the spies at work on both sides of the Iron Curtain. I suggest U.S. top spies go back to doing their real work instead of inventing fairy tales. In other words, there was no Russian hacking. The empire should be placed on suicide watch. If the neocons succeed in their attempt to overthrow, or failing that at paralyzing Trump, then the empire will have the choice between an endless horror or a horrible end. That's a fact. Trump is it, folks. Let's not even pretend that there is life beyond Donald Trump. Because if he doesn't succeed, if we can't make sure that we get everything done with him that needs to be done in 8 years, then there is nothing left beyond that. That's all there is to it. 16 reasons not to live in California. You know, for all of you out in California, you know why not to live there. British Foreign Secretary admits Moonbeam Brown. That tops the list. Anyway, British Foreign Secretary admits no evidence found of Russian disruption of UK democracy. We have no evidence that Russians are actually involved in trying to undermine our democratic process. And taxes and regulations would be another big two reasons. And oh my goodness, I'm sure you could. 16 would be easy to come up with, probably, especially if you live there. Up to 15% of Twitter accounts are fake, if not more. I think, as far as I know, they still haven't sold themselves. Mobileye shares soar on Intel acquisition. Citron shares crushed. Intel has agreed to buy Israeli technology from Mobileye for 14 to 15 billion dollars, according to a report in Israeli financial newspaper, The Marker. Wow, somebody's getting rich there. Hello. Sturgeon to give May an ultimatum as UK prepares for critical vote ahead of Article 50. This is about Scotland. On Monday, the Brexit bill returns to the House of Commons for debate after the House of Lords. The final bill must be approved by both houses. Should the bill pass Monday, the government could invoke Article 50 as early as Tuesday. Meanwhile, BBC reports that Scotland's Nicola Sturgeon will give Prime Minister an ultimatum: give Scotland a different Brexit deal, or she'll call for Section 30, launching another independence referendum. In other words, Scotland wants the hell out. What else here? Hanging in the balance, a look inside the war on repeal Obamacare. It says, House Republican. Right now, the Speaker of the House does not have the votes to pass this bill unless he gets substantial Democratic support. They would love to support it because it's a piece of shit of a bill. They support every piece of crap that goes through there. But the Senate Republican House Care bill will not pass the Senate without major changes. Thank goodness. And then Atlanta Fed selects Raphael Bostic as new president. And for Japan, the biggest show of force since World War II, as they send their largest warship to South China Sea. They're not afraid of Japan. But they're afraid of the U.S. That they are afraid of. And the U.S. government now has less cash than Google. Keep in mind, Google, as I understand it, was started by the CIA. So, but then the CIA is not really part of the U.S. government. They're like a separate entity, as we have found out. And anyway, that is all for now. That's all out of Zero Hedge. Guys, I will talk to you again soon. God bless y'all.